why Stripe does not have its own stablecoin just yet.
I think we've always been in the business of choice. And we've always followed our users. Whichever stablecoins our users want, our consumers want, we support them. So I would say if you look at money right now, it's stuck in the pre-internet era.
Yeah.
Everything moves fast on the internet except money. If you see how the volume with which agents can transact with each other is like way higher than the commerce volume that humans have been able to generate. Money movement happen at scale, you're making money movement happen fast and instantly, and then you put stablecoins and AI together. Obviously the avenue for fraud is increasing.
We are good to go.
Yeah, all right. Let's do it.
Hey Neetika, welcome to London.
Thank you.
Do you like the city so far?
I do. I love London. The food's awesome.
Perfect. Neetika, let's start with the first question. I want to understand, I think, and everyone wants to understand, why Stripe does not have its own stablecoin just yet.
You're going for it. Okay. Look, I think we've always been in the business of choice. And we've always followed our users. So if our users, I'll just give you a fiat example. If our users want more payment methods, we go and build every payment method that they want. That's the business that we're in. And so stablecoins is kind of the same philosophy. Whichever stablecoins our users want, our consumers want, we support them.
Right.
And so we also have our open issuance platform as part of Bridge.
Okay.
And so as companies have wanted more control over the economics, over where the reserves are stored, we've essentially given them a platform where they can go build their own stablecoin.
Right. Nitika, please tell me more about Connect and money management and money movement. What new products you are launching in the UK and Europe specifically?
Yeah. So I am super excited about Treasury. We announced it today. And so the way I would describe this as Stripe has been long in the business of supporting payments processing. Right. Everybody knows this.
Of course.
But then you are a user. Now you are going global from day one. That's a trend that we're seeing. Especially if you look at AI companies. I know you are really excited about AI.
I am.
Right? If you look at AI companies, they are selling globally from day one. You look at a company like Midjourney, they're selling into 200 geographies from the very first day. And so now if you think about a corporation, or if you think about a startup like this, they have money coming in into many different currencies. They have operations in many different geographies. And so we are moving from building payment services to being a full stack financial infrastructure provider. And so we're building Treasury with which companies can get multi-currency accounts. So they can store money in dollars, pounds, euros, and even stable coins. And they can convert between these currencies as and when they need it. They can pay out their contractors worldwide. They can give their employees cards. So you can essentially have a full life cycle of a dollar on Stripe.
Can you tell me, can they pay AI agents? Because now they're employees, basically, if you think about it, you know?
Totally. You definitely can. So we've been working on a few different efforts in this space. From our Link AI wallet, where you can, as a consumer, use the Link AI wallet to buy.
Of course.
And we've also been working on the machine payments protocol, where agents can transact with, either the other like checkouts on the internet and also with other agents. So definitely.
Can you please, how would you define AI payments or agentic payments from your perspective at Stripe? Because you guys have a lot of information, you see a lot happening where we are currently. Do we really have tangible growth, or it's mostly hype?
Right. It's a great question. And I have, one data point, just an external data point is, if you look at even X402, I think they just posted something like cumulative 100 million transactions in X402. That's huge. So
that's huge.
It's definitely growing. And then I think the thing that we're seeing on Stripe is we have corporations like Google, Meta, Microsoft. These are AI companies building agentic commerce. And I think that's a huge proof point. And they're all working with Stripe. But that's a huge proof point that agentic commerce is how we think the world's going to evolve. We have, and so this is on the agent front. This is where the buyer demand will come from. And then on the seller front, we are seeing companies like Kate Spade, Best Buy. Oh gosh, this is loud.
We are at Stripe sessions,
It's a party. And so we're also seeing demand on the seller side starting to increase.
Okay.
And so if you put these two things together, I think agentic commerce is the future. And then another trend to describe is if you think about, I actually found this really fascinating. If you think about, all of us are going to have our agents,
okay,
right, in the near future.
Right.
If you see how the volume with which agents can transact with each other is like way higher than the commerce volume that humans have been able to generate. Plus, you would imagine that agents transact with each other in microtransactions, right, like fractions of a cent. And so I think the volume is in like the next 5 years is about to explode.
So you think in the next 5 years, basically machine-to-machine transactions will increase the volume of human transaction?
Totally.
Wow. Because again, if you, as you mentioned, those are usually tiny bit of transactions, not like humans. We usually transact in huge volumes, but machines do in a tiny bit. And as you said, like Stripe Link now has 250 million users, and as you said, it's extending to AI agents.
Consumers on Link.
Exactly. What do you think? What could be the risk of AI agents using Link incorrectly, in your opinion?
Right. So definitely, look, I would say that, again, I always try to look back because the same trends happen again.
Okay.
And so anytime you develop a new payment technology,
all right,
fraud is a problem. You know, we've seen this as new payment methods have been created around the world. You see this as new schemes get created around the world. And so I think we have to be aware of the kind of problems that will crop up. So whether it's fraud, and now imagine like you're making the money movement happen at scale, you're making money movement happen fast and instantly, and then you put stablecoins and AI together. Obviously, the avenue for fraud is increasing, and so we have to account for that, and then we have to account for the fact like what does disputes mean in this new world. And so we have to build for that. I think this is also where the opportunity comes from. Like value does not accrue in the rails. Value accrues in the ecosystem and the products that are built around it. And so you mentioned the Link AI wallet. In the Link AI wallet, the human is still in control.
All right.
You can set spending limits. You can set controls around where the money is spent. And we also develop what we call a shared payment token. And so think about it that let's say you own the card, your payment credential is shared very safely with the seller. Okay. So we are trying to build our product in a way that we account for all of these things. Okay. When you do these transactions, the radar is Stripe's fraud fighting tool. Those signals are still provided on the transactions.
Right. And I also know that you have one-time use cards. You know, it's also one of the safety nets, but. The thing is, those types of products have not been tested at scale just yet, right? And everyone is asking about trust and security and how we can prevent fraud in terms of AI. And what's your approach, guys? Is it like the limits only, or do you still keep human in the loop, which you just mentioned?
Yes.
What other things should be under the radar of the founders when it comes to agentic transactions?
Great question. So I think this is like, it goes from, it's a spectrum.
Right.
So the first thing I would say is you have to build with security and safety and trust in mind from day one. Okay. Right? Because I think in the payments ecosystem, we take our responsibility also very seriously.
All right.
We have to be guardians of the financial ecosystem. And I think the important thing is that the answer is all of the above. So right from the start, Stripe starting to provide signals on what's the probability that a transaction is fraudulent.
Okay.
So even before the transaction goes through, you can see is this a consumer that's known to be fraudulent or not?
Right.
So you can start there.
Right.
You can start with account fraud. Then you can go, okay, the transaction happened. What are the chances that this transaction is fraudulent? And again, what you're relying on is the trillions of data points that Stripe has to be able to give you with certainty whether this is a fraudulent transaction or fraudulent account or not. So I think that's table state. Then you can also, based on all of these signals, I think it's also important to see what kind of friction you want to add in the system. And that friction could be, KYC. Okay. That friction could be, as I mentioned, a human in the loop approving a transaction. So I actually showed this on stage in the morning, but imagine if you are using an agent to pay an invoice. You should confirm before the invoice is actually paid.
Exactly.
And so building these systems with trust and safety in mind is really important. And I would say it's no different than how payment systems have been built in the past.
Right.
But now, to your point, we just have to do it at a greater scale.
And
with a different economic actor.
Right. And I also want to understand that you guys are doing a lot at the moment. What I mean by this is that you have IPO in the pipeline. I mean,
do we?
in a couple of years, I hope. You are integrating 4 major acquisitions like Bridge, Privy,
right,
and others.
Metro.
And you are shipping so many products. Do you see all these activities creating some friction in your verticals, money movement and crypto?
Right. Great question. I would actually answer this to say that we're moving at a breakneck pace. That's the Stripe thing. We move really fast.
Yes.
And I think the friction, it's a healthy friction. The friction it creates is you have to still ship the products with high quality.
All right.
Right. And then if I like give you an internal look, we also have to make sure that we are enabling our product and our engineering and our builders to essentially be able to build all of these products and launch all of these things fast.
Okay.
Right? So how do our processes scale? We're still building financial products. So we have to make sure the products are compliant. We have to make sure we have to make sure we follow all the rules and regulations. And so to be able to do all of that and get a product out there that can scale, because also Stripe has millions of users, and to be able to build for them with very high quality. We also have a high quality bar on how our dashboard works or how our API works. That's the balance that we have to drive.
Look, you are basically launching almost 300 products.
Yes.
I mean, that's immense. Don't you think that's too much for your consumers? How do you measure the success of each and every product? Because that's too much, in my opinion.
We want to do more. We're going to do 1,000 next year.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that.
Right.
So I think there are a few things that we are doing.
Right.
And to come back to your question, it is a problem that we want to make sure that we solve, where our users can understand what a roadmap actually means for their business.
Okay.
Right. So we launched stripe.com/roadmap.
All right.
So you can actually go there and you can do a product level cut to see how do these launches apply to the area that I'm interested in. You can do a cut by money management to see everything that's launched in money management. You can do a cut by Connect to see everything that's launched in Connect. And so we are building greater ways where our users can actually take these launches. Not all 300 launches will be applicable to you or your business, but then what's the solution focused approach? You are an AI company, you are a startup, you are a platform, you're a marketplace. Different launches apply to you. You are in the UK versus the US.
Right.
And so we're making sure that our launches are consumable in a way that makes sense for your business.
Yes. And I want to touch the topic of stablecoins as well, because you guys are doing literally a lot in this vertical. And McKinsey reported that B2B stablecoin volumes increased 700%.
Yes.
But how much of that is real economic transactions? I mean, not trading related transactions, in your opinion.
Yeah. So I'll actually start with why I'm excited about stablecoins and then answer your question. So I would say if you look at money right now, it's stuck in the pre-internet era. Everything moves fast on the internet except money.
Okay.
And if you think about a cheap, a fast, 24/7 availability, programmable way of money movement, that's what stablecoins mean.
All right.
That's why we're excited about stablecoins. Stablecoins are internet native money.
Yes.
And so the reason I'm personally really excited is because I see large and small serious businesses adopting stablecoins.
Okay.
It's not crypto for crypto's sake. It is real world use cases that we are seeing companies are already building.
Okay.
And so I can describe specific use cases that would be helpful to understand. So the way I would describe this is, let's start with businesses that I talked about that are selling gold globally from day one. So X or DigitalOcean, these companies are using stablecoins to accept payments from consumers around the world. Then on the other end, you have companies like Meta that are paying their creators using stablecoins.
Yeah, and they are working with you.
Yes, using Philippines and Colombia. All of these companies are working with us.
Yes.
And then so those are cross-border commerce use cases that stablecoins make much simpler.
Okay.
Then you have companies or startups, even YC startups, that are using our treasury product that I described, and they're using it to store their revenue, the payments money that they get. They store it here, often in stablecoins, and then they use the product to pay out their contractors, or they use the product to get a card backed by stablecoins, such that you have stablecoins in your balance, but you can actually spend like a local.
Right.
So you're in Argentina, your money is stored in stablecoins, but your card can still work in ARS. So that's pretty powerful.
Yes.
And then the last use case I would describe that I'm very fascinated with is fintechs are a really good use case for stablecoins. Fintechs businesses tend to have a lot of money movement in them.
Right.
They have a lot of remittances, like use cases, and so fintechs like a Felix, which is doing 5% of the US-Mexico corridor in remittances.
That's
and
huge.
It's one of the largest corridors in the world.
Exactly.
They're building this on top of stablecoins. Or you look at Deel. Deel is a perfect example of all of Stripe's capabilities across Stripe, Bridge, and Privy. So Deel is paying almost 1.5 million contractors around the world using stablecoins.
Yeah.
And Deel is using Stripe to take money from the businesses. It's using DUSD built on top of the Bridge open issuance platform that we talked about. And then it is using Privy wallets such that the recipients can easily get money.
Yeah.
So I think the real world use cases make me super excited.
Right. And this would be actually one of my last questions. I would love to get your advice for the founders that are planning to launch global companies from day one, because AI now allows you literally to launch global companies from day one, literally.
Right.
So how should they approach money movement and money management? What I mean by this, that should they start with stable coins first in mind, or do they need to keep fiat in mind as well?
Right. I would point us all back to starting with the user need.
Okay.
Right. So what is the use case that you're trying to solve for? What is the geography where your product is resonating the most?
Okay.
And based on that, then you pick what you need to do. If Stripe does its job well, we do our job well, then the founders don't have to think about whether it's stablecoins or fiat at all.
Okay.
Right? The way I would describe it is that the technology gets weaved into all the products that we build. So if a founder needs to accept money, if a founder needs to pay out to many different parties, if a founder needs to store money, if a founder needs to convert different currencies or whatever, they should be able to do all of that. And under the hood, we will take care of the complexity. So I would say that start with the use case, and if we build the infrastructure right, then as a founder, you shouldn't have to deal with the crypto complexity.
And this is my last question, actually. Do you think after 5 years, basically, AI agents will be our employees and they will be transacting basically in stable coins, and that will be majority of the economy in comparison to what's happening now?
So I actually, this is funny you say this. I don't know if you remember this, but earlier in the year, there was this news article where stablecoins would be the only way agents transact.
Yes.
And like that made Visa and MasterCard stock go down. So I think that was an overreaction, right? But I do think in the next 5 years, we will see more and more use cases emerge where agents are using stablecoins for transactions. And again, if you think about the fact that a lot of the transactions are a cent or sub-cent, then that doesn't work on traditional rails. Right. So like it's just, that's why I would say like you match the technology to the use case really well here.
Of course.
And so I'm excited for that world.
Neetika, thank you for coming on the Wrap Up Show. It was great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks for all the great questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.